Binod Chaudhary is a business magnate and philanthropist who was born in the city of Kathmandu in Nepal. He now holds the position of chairman and president of the Chaudhary Group. The Chaudhary Company was established in 1968 by Binod's grandfather. Today, the Chaudhary Group has 136 enterprises throughout all 5 continents. Having a net worth of $1 billion, he was ranked 1,342nd on the list of the world's billionaires in 2013. He is now the richest man in Nepal with a net worth of around $1.5 billion. So, who is Binod Chaudhary and how did he get his wealth? Where did he start? Binod was required to launch his professional career at the age of 18, much like his grandfather was required to do, due to a heart scare that required his father to take bed rest. However, before this, he had the intention of pursuing a career as a chartered accountant, but was forced to put his studies on hold in the middle of the process so that he could tend to his family. The family firm was a prosperous department store that specialized in Japanese and Korean textile imports. His desire to establish a prosperous manufacturing industry in Nepal served as the impetus for the establishment of a number of businesses that he founded. However, due to his worsening health as well as Nepal's subpar infrastructure, they were both in a state of decay. And just like his father when Binod took charge, he was motivated by his own set of objectives and ideals. So, how did Binod come to be super wealthy? When Binod was deep in the throes of learning the fundamentals of business, he stumbled across a fortunate finding that turned out to be a very astute piece of intuition. At the airport, he saw that travelers returning from Thailand almost often had at least one bag stuffed to the brim with individual servings of instant noodles. So, his assumption was that these would be in high demand among their relatives back in their own country. So, he used the flour mill from the family's biscuit industry to supply the small facility that was set up to create noodles. His invention, which was named YY Noodles, immediately became a hit in Nepal and later found its way to India. He is currently known by the moniker Noodle King, and he controls 2% of the overall noodle market worldwide. So, is that it? YY was the source of Binod's wealth and security, and it also contributed to the solidification of his image as a successful businessman. However, he wasn't satisfied. When businesses from China and India came to Nepal to advertise their wares, he always had the impression that they were doing it on the very same ground that he called home. Therefore, he reasoned, why shouldn't he be able to do that? Keeping all of this in mind, he evaluated his readiness to climb the professional ladder. The Chaudhary Group took its first step into the global marketplace by launching Sinovation in Singapore. With this accomplishment, the Chaudhary Group became the first and only large Nepalese multinational firm. As a result of its growth, the Chaudhary wealth has entered the ranks of the world's other billion-dollar fortunes. Surprisingly, the group possesses a majority part in Nabil Bank, which is the largest privately owned and operated commercial bank in Nepal. CG Financial, United Remit, United Insurance, and United Finance are all within the company's umbrella of responsibility. They have 82 hotels and resorts located in different countries all over the world. Some of the establishments that fall within the CG Education Division's purview in Nepal include Changbar Schools, Delhi Public Schools, and Campion Schools and Colleges. However, they have assets in AEC Education and Malvern House in a number of other countries in addition to Nepal. Some of these countries include the United Kingdom, Singapore, Malaysia, London, Europe, Ireland, and Bhutan. But the question is that all that Binod has a stake in? The group also deals with electronics. The electronics sector of the group is responsible for the production and distribution of various consumer electronics and home appliances across the country. Some examples of these products include mobile phones, washing machines, microwaves, and televisions. The firm also imports and distributes goods produced by a variety of international manufacturers, including but not limited to Intex, Kelvinator, Godrej, and TCL, among others. And in acknowledgement of the exceptional contributions he's made to the humanitarian community throughout the years, Sri University bestowed upon him an honorary doctorate degree in 2015. In the same year, he was honored with the title of Asian Man of the Year. After the first half of that year had passed, Frost & Sullivan presented its Growth, Innovation and Leadership Award for 2016. And 2019 marked the year that he was bestowed with the Hoti Levate Lifetime Achievement Award. And by the way, did you know he's also a great philanthropist? The Chaudhary Group has provided sponsorship to a large number of different organizations in exchange for publicity and financial support. The charitable organization is currently being led by Binod Chaudhary. He signed the foundation over to the United Nations Development Programme with the intention of furthering and supporting the Sustainable Development Goals in Nepal. After the devastating earthquake that struck Nepal in 2015, the CG Foundation has been contributing to the country's efforts to recover and rebuild. Fortunately, 166 new homes have been built in the Kumpur VDC, which is located in the Darding district. Aside from that, they assisted in the construction of 10,000 short-term dwellings for people displaced by the earthquake. Moreover, they stated that they would build 100 new schools in the impacted area. And as of the year 2019, 2,500 residential units and 40 educational institutions have been finished. Well, quite an inspiring story. So, what fascinated you the most about him?